Thanks for tuning in and welcome to the Post Route Show. And now, here's your host, W. Earl Kitchings.
Hey, good evening and welcome to another edition of the Post Route. I'm your host, W. Earl Kitchings. As you know, what we do at the Post Route is we dive deep into conversations with Black quarterbacks, both past and present. This show is proudly brought to you by Quarterfied Back, the preeminent fraternity for Black quarterbacks and home of the prestigious BIP Memorial Trophy, the only national award that honors both the top Black quarterback from HBCUs and the top Black quarterback from high schools around the nation. We're always excited to have you with us. If you enjoy our content and our show and want to support what we're doing here on the Post Route, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, tap the notification bell so you never miss an episode. And oh, by the way, go online and hit us up on Instagram at _5_back so you can get information and great graphics and news and things like that about Black quarterbacks. Join us live every Monday night right here at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for more phenomenal conversations. As you know, we are winding the season down. And as we wind the season down, I would first like to send our heartfelt blessings and hope that this young man will get better. Our guest tonight suffered a head trauma concussion, King Holland. So we pray that he will get well and get better. I am a strong proponent of making sure that that particular injury is well diagnosed and well taken care of, because having seen the effects of the trauma that comes from a head injury in this game of football is not to be taken lightly. So I will ask that you keep your prayers up for King Holland and his family. I pray for the Holland family. I pray for the doctors who are monitoring his recovery, and hope that he has a 110% healthy recovery so that he can continue to play the game that I'm surely he truly loves. Please, again, keep your prayers up for King Holland. And we also like to just make sure that we give out some kudos, because, you know, a lot of good things are happening as we wind this football season down for 2025. The kickoff, if you will, to the 2025 bowl season started this past Saturday in Atlanta, Georgia, under the auspices called the Celebration Bowl, the game that decides the Black National College champion. And let me tell you, was it a game? Oh my goodness. It went down to four overtimes between Prairie View A&M Panthers and the Bulldogs of South Carolina State. It looked like Prairie View was going to hand the Bulldogs their hat and usher them out the Mercedes-Benz Dome real early, taking a 21-0 lead, but 21 unanswered points after halftime by the Bulldogs tied it back up, and from there they just traded touchdown for touchdown until it got to overtime. And there, both teams kicked a field goal, of course, and then South Carolina State got the ball to see if they could score a touchdown again, and they were picked off. A backup quarterback, Ryan Stubblefield, who had come in and done a masterful job of bringing South Carolina State back to get them in the mix and get them to the tie, threw a pick. So Prairie View has the ball now at about the 25, and they couldn't move the ball, so they decided to kick a field goal. I would have probably decided to do a fake field goal on first down just to see what it gets me, but eventually all they had to do was kick a field goal, and it was not to be. Just right of the goalpost was the kick. So now they go to the next couple of overtimes where teams have to start at the 3-yard line, and you get one play to punch it in. South Carolina State, Prairie View on that first time, they couldn't get it done. Second time, South Carolina State threw a little swing pass, and we thought that the receiver was out of bounds. As he was being knocked out of bounds, he did extend the ball toward the goal line, but he was out of bounds from where that ball would have touched across the goal line. Upon further official review, I found something out that I was not really familiar with. The end zone, the goal line extends beyond just the confines of the sidelines. It extends past and goes out. So when he did reach the ball out, and all you have to do is break the plane, they gave him the 2 points. Prairie View came back and called a quarterback keeper. South Carolina State denied it. That was the ball game. Happy in Orangeburg for the South Carolina State Bulldogs. Coach Chennis Berry and your coaches and staff, congratulations. Also want to congratulate Coach Tremaine Jackson, his first year at Prairie View after having been at Valdosta State last year, and got them a SWAC championship, something they had not done since 2009, and they had not won 10 games, which they did this year. They had not done that in almost 40 years. So congratulations to the Panthers. They vow they will be back, and let me tell you, on that west side of the SWAC, they're going to be raising the eyebrows and making it difficult for everybody on the west side. But congratulations to Coach Chennis Berry and his staff. Congratulations to Ryan Stubblefield, the MVP of the 2025 Celebration Bowl, as the Bulldogs take home the ring and take it back to Orangeburg. Now, I would be also remiss if I didn't show some love to my high school alma mater, who just when you thought you had seen games that could not just be more exciting, here it was, a rematch of the 2024 Class 3A state championship between Miami Northwestern and Raines High School. Last year, Miami Northwestern just beat Raines unmercifully with the score of 41-0, but the Vikings vowed to come back and call this year the Revenge Tour. And they went on a 13 straight game win streak. But unless they won the 2025 Class 3A state championship, it would be for naught. It went back and forth. The defense turned back Miami Northwestern 6 times inside the red zone, 3 times inside the 5, 3 times, 6 times in all. Pulled out a way to win the ball game, trailing by the score of 22-17. They went on their final drive on a play that they called the Viking special. They dialed it up. TJ Cole rolled right, threw back across the field left to Darius Washington, made the reception, avoided a defender, and knocked over the final defender before he crashed into the end zone for the winning touchdown. Final score, Raines 23, Miami Northwestern 22. What a ball game. What a game. So kudos to the Vikings of Raines High School, Coach Donovan Maslin and his staff, and all those Cardinal and Gray Vikings. Great job. In a 2-year span, Coach Mass has compiled a record of 27-1. So congratulations, Vikings. Now, let's move on to our show because I got some more things that we want to take care of. I was thinking we were going to kind of be done last week by giving you our final quarterback of the week. Well, I'm going to change things up. That's my prerogative as the host and executive producer here of the Post Route. I can make a call. I'm going to call an audible, and I'm going to change it up. So first, I would like to congratulate both Ryan Stubblefield and Cameron Peters as our final 2 quarterbacks of the week for their exemplary games that they played in the Celebration Bowl. Coming off the bench in the second half and throwing for 249 yards, 2 touchdowns to help South Carolina State win. Cam Peters throwing for 400-plus yards and 2 touchdowns in defeat. But, man, what a game, and congratulations to both of those gentlemen who are our absolute final quarterbacks of the week at the HBCU level. Why? Because there are no more games for HBCU schools. Now, I will say this. There is the Legacy Bowl that comes up in February over in New Orleans, and that's where it's like an all-star game, East versus West. There'll be 4 quarterbacks, maybe 6. I'm not sure who will be the starters and how much time they'll get, but we'll just play it by ear and see what happens. Now, when we talk about the other side of things from that high school level, let me tell you, we're going to talk about the guys who are making some headway as our quarterbacks of the week at the high school level, because there was, again, some phenomenal football played just before the end of the season. So not only do we have 1 quarterback of the week, not do we have 2, but we have 3 quarterbacks of the week at the high school level. Week 17, our first one, a sophomore from Frisco, Texas, Lone Star High School, Trey Wright. Trey Wright played in a big game in the Texas playoffs and beat Aledo High. The Rangers had to come back and win this game in the 4th quarter. They scored 28 points in the 4th quarter. This young man guided them to the winning touchdown with less than a minute on a 5-yard pass play to win that ball game. Now, that is their 15th game of the year, and that game, I believe, sends them to the state finals. Imagine playing 16 games in your high school career. But you know it's Texas, and they do it big in Texas. So congratulations to Trey Wright, our first high school quarterback of the week, for his excellent production of 385 yards, 21 of 42. That's like 50%, 0 interceptions, and 5 touchdowns. He is currently ranked number 26 in the nation as rated by Max Prep. Then next, this guy. He just will not go away. It just seems like he has just made a home here at quarter-5 back. Jelani Dipple, the junior from Central East High School in Fresno, California. What did he do? 10 for 26, 3 picks, 202 yards, and 2 touchdowns. But he and the Bengals of Central East earned the ring. That's right. They defeated Taylor Lee and the Pacifica Tritons to win the state championship football game by a score of 42-28. They scored 21 points in the 4th quarter to seal the win and finish the season 14-1. Dipple is currently ranked number 9 in the nation, according to Max Prep. So congratulations, Jelani Dipple. I know we've called your name and featured you a few times over the last month or so here at quarter-5 back, but your work has done the job. And finally, you didn't think I was going to leave him out, did you? Our 3rd and final high school quarterback of the week, Timothy T.J. Cole, the senior from Raines High School, Jacksonville, Florida, 12 of 24, 2 interceptions, 149 yards, and 1 touchdown. Don't worry about the stats. Just understand that he guided the Vikings to the game-winning drive touchdown on a special play they developed through a 17-yard strike to his running back, who broke a tackle and scored with just 10 seconds left in the game. 10 seconds left, they scored the winning touchdown from 17 yards out. The win avenged a 41-0 loss they suffered last year to Miami Northwestern. Sweet revenge, that's what I call it. So the Reigns Vikings finished the year with a 14-0 record. So there you have it, our triple quarterback, co-high school quarterbacks of the week. Timothy T.J. Cole, Reigns High School. Jelani Dipple, Central East High School in Fresno, California. And Trey Wright, the sophomore out of Lone Star High School out in Frisco, Texas. Now tonight, what I wanted to do was feature some other watch lists that we track, but we wanted to just wait till the end of the year to bring them to you because we focus more on the high schools and the HBCUs during the regular course of the season, but we are still tracking black quarterbacks at the other 4 collegiate levels: FBS, FCS, Division II, and NAIA. So we're going to start with the NAIA. We're going to start with the NAIA watch list first and just give you some names. Now, please bear with me. These will be names you are not familiar with unless you have an NAIA alma mater or this is your school that you follow or you're from that city. So here we go. From number 15, Jawan Warren from Defiance College. At number 14, David Buggs from Florida Memorial out of the Sun Conference. At number 13, Deuce Taylor, a senior out of Avila University. At number 12, Byron Reese, a freshman from Bethel College. At number 11, Tyquan Wiggins from Florida Memorial. At number 10, Tedrick Wilcox from Florida Memorial. You know, when you've got to juggle quarterbacks and you got to use 3 of them, hey, they all can get on the list depending on how well they throw the football. At number 8 is Marcus Sanders, a junior from Dickinson State College. At number 7, Nate Mickle, a senior from Southeastern out of the Sun Conference. Marcus Freeman at number 6, a junior from Judson University from the MSFA Conference. At number 5, Luke Gyron, a senior from Quaz, and that is an acronym for a college out there in the Student Athletic Conference. Christian Du Reed, senior from Olivet Nazarene. At number 3 is Jacob Jones, a redshirt sophomore from Missouri Baptist. At number 2, Sterling Ramsey II, a senior from Penn College. And at number 1, Xavier Malone, a graduate student from Pikeville University up in Pikeville, Kentucky. Those are our top 15 quarterbacks in the final week of our watch list for NAIA schools. Those are the top 15. Next, we're going to bring you the quarterbacks in the Division II ranks. Division II. So here we have them. Some of these colleges you may be familiar with, and some, of course, you may not, but we're going to give them to you anyway. At number 15, Tyler Wesley out of Anderson University. At number 14, Hezekiah Harris, a junior out of Southern Arkansas. At number 13, Day One Owens, a redshirt freshman from Slippery Rock. At number 12, MJ Rivers, a senior from Southwest Oklahoma State. At number 11, Jordan Brooks, a redshirt sophomore from Frostburg State University. At number 10, Tavion Falk, a redshirt junior from Arkansas Monticello University. At number 9, Michael Hardaway from Shepherd University of the Penn State Athletic Conference. At number 8, Kamani Robinson, a redshirt sophomore from Lenore Ryan. At number 7, Trey Robinson, a sophomore from UNC Pembroke over there in the Carolina Coast Conference. At number 6, Darrell Overstreet, a senior from Upper Iowa University. At number 5, Sergio Kennedy, a redshirt sophomore from East Central out of the Great American Conference. Number 4, Jerron Saunders, a junior from Southwest Baptist. At number 3, Preston Brown, a graduate student from Catawba over there in North Carolina. They're in the South Atlantic Conference. At number 2, Anthony Garrett, a senior from Glenville State out of the Mountain East. And at number 1, Elijah Holmes, a redshirt sophomore from Wingate University, finishing up the year at 3,046 yards and 24 touchdowns. Those are our top 15 black quarterbacks from the Division II ranks. I know y'all might be like, boy, quarter 5 back in the post route, y'all do not mess around. No, we don't, because all we know is quarterbacks, and that's what we do. Now, for the SCS level, let's move on to that level. Formerly the Division I AA ranks, now the FCS level. And we're going to start at number 15, Chris Zelius, a graduate student over at Stony Brook. At number 14, Miles Burkett, a redshirt junior from Eastern Kentucky. At number 13, Des Thomas II, a senior over at Georgetown. At number 12, Nick Whitfield, a redshirt junior from St. Francis out of the Northeast Conference. At number 11, Cardell Williams, out of Cal State Sacramento, out of the Big Sky. At number 10, Quincy Crittenden, a senior from Sanford University over there in Alabama, out of the Southern Conference. At number 9, Tyler Hughes, a junior from William and Mary. At number 8, Caden Pinnick, a redshirt freshman from UC Davis. They're out of the Big Sky. Another Big Sky quarterback is Eric Gibson from Northern Colorado. At number 6, Jaden Craig, a senior from Harvard University out of the Ivy League. At number 5, Chris Parson, a redshirt sophomore from Austin P out of the United Athletic Conference. At number 4, Jordan Cook, the redshirt junior from Idaho State, another Big Sky Conference guy. At number 3, DJ Williams, a senior from Southern Illinois out of the Missouri Valley. At number 2, Devin Farrell, the redshirt junior from Rhode Island out of the CAA. And at number 1, Teron Dickens, the redshirt sophomore from Western Carolina, 3,508 yards and 38 touchdowns. That is our top 15 black quarterbacks. Week 15, our final regular season rankings. And now we'll move on to our FBS rankings of quarterbacks. Again, we are just excited to always be able to bring all these talented football players to you, our viewers and listeners. These guys are the top 15 black quarterbacks amongst FBS schools. At number 15 is Jalen Daniels out of Kansas. At number 14 is Taylon Green, a senior out of Arkansas. At number 13, Dante Moore, a redshirt sophomore from Oregon. At number 12, Tommy Castellanos, a graduate student at Florida State. At number 11, Noah Kim, another graduate student from Eastern Michigan. At number 10, Desmond Williams, Jr., a sophomore from Washington, University of Washington, to be more exact. At number 9, C.J. Bailey, a sophomore from North Carolina State. At number 8, Marcel Reed, the outstanding redshirt sophomore who's got the Aggies in the playoffs from Texas A&M. At number 7, Malik Washington, a freshman from the University of Maryland. At number 6, Noah Fita, a junior out of Arizona. At number 5, Trinidad Chambliss from Mississippi, the junior. At number 4, Jalen Renor, a freshman out of Arkansas State. At number 3, Byron Brown, a senior from the University of South Florida. At number 2, Kevin Jennings, the redshirt junior from Southern Methodist University. And at number 1, Darian Mensah, the redshirt sophomore from Duke University, sitting atop the list, 3,450 yards, 28 touchdowns. So there you have it. Those are our top 15 black quarterbacks from the FBS. But oh, wait, let me just also do this for you, for our viewers, because we want to do this just so you can have an idea who these guys are. These are the number 1 guys from the college levels that we did. So as we told you, from the top FBS quarterback in 2025 is Darian Mensah, the junior from Duke University. 305 completions, 449 attempts, 5 picks. He had an efficiency rating of 156, 3,646 yards, had a 69.7 completion percentage, and he threw 30 touchdowns. Very efficient guy. Look forward to seeing them in a bowl game. From the FCS levels, the top quarterback in 2025, Teron Dickens, the redshirt sophomore from Western Carolina University out of the Southern Conference, 271 completions on 365 attempts, only 2 picks, 188.2 efficiency rating, 3,508 yards, had a completion percentage of 74.2. He put up 38 touchdowns in his redshirt sophomore year. Teron Dickens out of Western Carolina. Next, we have the guy from, I got the wrong name there, it's not Mensah, but that gentleman from Glenville State University had a 196 completion for 351 attempts, 12 interceptions, 143.1 efficiency, 3,003 yards, 58.8 completion percentage, and 29 touchdowns. Now, you know, I'm not going to do him like that. I'm going to go back and get that name correct. I apologize. You know, when you're trying to just move things around, you just get caught up with so many things. So let me make sure I get that corrected. The top guy, his name, Elijah Holmes. Elijah Holmes from Wingate University. So my apologies for not having his name correct on that slide. And then as we get back to that slide, the final guy we got is Xavier Malone, the junior from Pikeville University. 318 completions, 461 attempts, 8 interceptions, 146.3 efficiency, 3,492 yards. His completion percentage was 68.9, and he threw 24 touchdowns. So there you have it. You get a chance to see who the top guys are. We want to make sure we featured them and gave you a quick snapshot of who these guys are, because the season is over for many of our quarterbacks. And again, congratulations to all our quarterbacks for having, whether you had a winning season, a mediocre season, or a losing season, you competed as best you could and did the best job you could for your school. So congratulations to all of our quarterbacks who made our watch list. Congratulations to all the black quarterbacks who play for all the colleges throughout this nation. Congratulations to you. And of course, congratulations to all the rising quarterbacks at both the middle school and the high school levels. Definitely, because when you got a guy like a Cole Moody who's just in the 8th grade playing on the varsity team, has thrown for 5,300 and 50 yards and 60 touchdowns, man, you got to show that guy some love. I mean, you just got to show him some love, because he did what was asked of him. One game away from getting to the state championship and winning it all. But he probably, 99.9%, he will be back. So congratulations to all of these fine young men as they get ready. For those who are moving on to the next level of life, may you be successful. For those who will be returning for another season of great football action, man, we can't wait to 2026. And for those who still have one game or we still have you in bowl games, hey, we're still keeping our eye on you. And oh, by the way, don't forget, we are in mode for getting ready to present the 2025 winner of the BIP Memorial Trophy at both the high school and the collegiate level. So we don't want you to miss out on that. That will probably be happening in January as we prepare our documents for our advisory council to do their work and start working on the selection process for who will be this year's BIP Memorial Trophy winners. Before I close, let me just remind you that, hey, if you're thinking about doing something exciting for someone for Christmas, send me your order for my book, The Forgotten QBs, the little-known history, information, and statistics about Black quarterbacks in American college football. $35, free shipping. You send it to me, I'll autograph it, and I'll get it back to you. I guarantee you, you won't be disappointed, and you will be highly, highly surprised at who is in this book of quarterbacks that you may not have ever heard about. You can Zelle us at 904-994-2189 or Cash App us at $Q5back44 to get your book. Please do your part. Add this book to your library or make it a gift for someone you love who is a big fan of football and definitely are not on top of their Black quarterback game, as we like to say. So, The Forgotten QBs, get your copy at quarter5back@yahoo.com. That's the only place you can get that book right now. I know it might be just a little extra you have to do, but hey, I promise you, it's worth the effort. And something that is worth having is worth the extra effort to go to get that book. Make it your choice for a Christmas gift in 2025. Well, that's going to about do it for me tonight for another post-route show. We do thank you for my crew, my staff. I got to say thank you to them. Always glad to have them put their best foot forward. So until next week, I would like to thank my producer, Ronleen Kennedy, my media director, Mr. C.D. Lazier, photographer, Will Relaford, our resident sports psychologist, Dr. Will Kitchings, and for me, your executive producer and host. As we always say here at the Post Route, go deep and go for the bomb. Until next Monday, not Friday, next Monday night at 7 p.m., wishing you the best week and take care, stay safe, and more importantly, stay healthy. Talk to you next week, everybody. Bye-bye.